the weekend, and I managed to record a class, but unfortunately I recorded it in a fairly high resolution, so it was taking like forever to load onto YouTube. So I dispensed with the loading, and I might come back to that, or I might just redo the class. I haven't quite decided, but anyways. All right, it is 9:16 and we are going to get started right away. So like I said, if you have a little blanket, you can grab that blanket and roll it up. Make just a little bit of a sausage roll to support your neck. And I'm going to get my computer going here. There we go. All right, so let's begin on our backs for our practice this morning, coming into, as I said, constructive rest pose. So constructive rest pose really allows the body an opportunity to reset. And in regard to your psoas muscle, it literally lets the psoas muscle kind of find its way back into a relaxed position. One thing we know about the psoas muscle is that it is a muscle that is overused. Overused, it's tired. Really and truly, we don't typically need to spend a lot of time strengthening our psoas muscle, but we do need to spend time stretching and releasing it, which helps with some of our issues with low back, because the psoas muscle helps for stability of our pelvis. And it's a bilateral muscle, so you have psoas muscle on this side, psoas muscle on the other side of your body. So when you're moving, one side can be tighter than the other side, which means that our pelvis can literally be torqued out of position. So it's good if we can spend the time to create a little bit more balance within the tightness of that particular muscle. So constructive rest pose. You're going to come down onto your back, and if you like that little blanket, then you're just going to roll it up and think about just filling in the space under your neck to really support your neck. Find a nice neutral position with your spine. So lift up, tuck your shoulder blades under your back, just so that they come slightly together and elevate the chest ever so slightly. But the sensation in your body should literally be that of rest, relaxation, restoration. We want our knees bent, and we're going to go ahead and lift up the hips, tuck that tailbone a little bit, and release that low back down onto the mat. Your feet can be out wide and your knees can be bent. If your back is really, really bothering you, if there's any tension in your back that you really get over in your mind, then go ahead and let your knees drop in towards each other, and that might help to release some of that low back tension. But whatever feels the most comfortable for you, laying on your back with the knees bent, and then we're going to take our arms. You could just leave them out by your sides, whatever feels the most relaxed for you, or you could cross them over your body and literally take out all of the work of even holding your arms away from your body. So crossing at the elbows and just letting them lay on your chest. Good, and then I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And we're going to spend a little bit of time here. Close your eyes. Allow yourself to bring your attention and your focus and your awareness completely into this space. This is why we're here. Our psoas affects our whole person. Yoga postures connect the body to the mind, and our breathing connects the mind to the body and to the unconscious. Meditation connects the person to the universe. Our psoas muscle connects our upper body to our lower body. It links through our movement, feelings, our energy, and literally our healing. Our bodies have a way of holding emotions deep within the cells, and oftentimes it's the emotions that actually hold the pain that we experience. Once we release what we have been holding on to, the pain leaves with it. So beginning in our constructive rest pose. In this posture, our bodies will give way to gravity. We'll give ourselves an opportunity to let go, to become a little bit more balanced, allowing our bodies to settle into their natural alignment and posture. And as we have our knees bent, our femur press gently back into its hip socket, letting go of the tension in the hip flexors. Our spine will follow its natural curves, and both of these arrangements begin the process of freeing our psoas muscle. And just keeping your eyes closed, I want you to begin envisioning the whole length of your spine resting on the mat. So bring that picture into your mind of your spine on the mat. And now imagine a line of energy traveling down your spine, curving up between your legs, flowing up the front side of your body, and then down the back side. Visualizing in your mind a line of energy flowing along the spine, up through your legs, along the front of the body, and then once again down the back of your body. And just notice that line of energy circling your body. Let's begin to tap into the power of our breath and allow the breath to create a cycle of energy. And as we inhale, we draw that energy down the spine, and as we exhale, we draw that energy up the front side of the body. And just keep watching that breath moving along the back side of the body and up the front side of the body. Maybe even consider the idea of a zipper being closed like a jacket. So as that breath and energy move up the front side of your body, imagine you're drawing the zipper from the bottom of the jacket all the way up. Now bring your awareness to the weight of your head, and let the weight of your head melt into your mat. And consider that concept, the melting. Not even adding to that weight, but literally allowing the head to melt. Nice length in the neck. And then just continue to breathe, letting that breath move down the back side of the body, up the front side of the body. Relaxing and letting your aligned vertebrae and pelvic bones support your body without any effort. And then feel as if your knees are draped over a hanger. The thighs are hanging on one side and the lower legs hanging on the other side. The hanger is supported by the ceiling, so there's no weight in the legs. They're just there, they're just hanging, they're supported on the hanger. Bring attention to your thighs now. Imagine a waterfall flowing from your knees all the way down your thighs and into your hip sockets. Let the legs relax. And now picture another waterfall trickling from your knees, down your shins, to your ankles. Slowly taking your time, visualizing those waterfalls, one flowing from your knees, down your thighs to your hip sockets, and one flowing from your knees, down your shins, your ankles. And then the water pooling at your feet, nice and cool and soothing. And let your eyes relax. continue to be aware of your breath now. The psoas muscle is one of the most important skeletal muscles in our bodies. It connects the upper body to the lower core muscle. As a core muscle, the psoas is a force in correcting our bodily alignment. It's vitally important to the transfer of weight through our trunk to our legs and our feet while we're moving, or even while we're standing. It helps to position the spine, the pelvis, and the femur in relation to each other. So in the instance that the psoas is overused, tired, and exhausted, we can have some challenges with our legs and our hips and our pelvis. So today we're just going to take some time to nurture that psoas muscle, give it a little break, release some of the tension, hopefully deal with some of our low back pain or discomfort. So we're going to continue to keep our eyes closed. We are going to work through a little bit of pelvic stability. So still laying on our back, and you can keep that rolled up blanket under your neck if that's comfortable for you. And eyes can be closed or your eyes can be open, whatever you prefer. We're going to go ahead and we're going to place our peace fingers on top of our hip bones, so the protrusion of our hip bones on the front side of our body. And we want to just connect with our transverse abdominis muscles. So we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, think about how it feels when you cough or when you sneeze, and that kind of explosive exhalation. And we're going to do that more explosive exhalation for about 5 breaths, and notice those transverse abdominis muscles contract. So inhale and then exhale, and just press that air out, contracting those transverse abdominal muscles. And let's do that just a few more times, just at your own pace. Inhaling and exhaling. Maybe a couple more. One more time. Very nice. And then just relax that. Allow your hands to rest down by the sides of your body. And then tucking your tummy in and pressing into your feet. Lift your hips about 2 or 3 inches off your mat, and just let the hips shift from one side of the mat to the other, just allowing them to hover over the mat. So just gently moving one side of the mat to the other a few times. So psoas likes asymmetrical movement. It doesn't like to move equally on the same side, but that causes us imbalance. So we really have to work to bring it back into balance, so there's that sense of harmony and symmetry in our body. Awesome. Maybe just a couple more. Shifting slowly side to side. Good. And then come back to center, keeping the hips still elevated about 2 inches off your mat. And let's go ahead and drop that right hip down and lift the left hip up. And then bring that right hip up and drop the left hip down. So just gently tapping one hip on the mat as we lift the opposite hip up. And just do that a few times, side to side. Good, conscious of your breathing. Maybe paying attention to how that feels in the low back. Taking your time, again, no hurry this morning. Awesome, maybe just a couple more. Drop one down and lift it up. The other down and lift it up. And then come back to center. Let's lower the hips all the way down, and let's move into a nice gentle bridge pose. So walking heels and fingertips a little bit closer together, making sure those shoulder blades are under the back, tucking that tummy in. As we inhale, press into the feet to lift the hips and hold at the top. Nice stretch for the front side of our body. And then slowly release. And let's do that again, tucking that tummy, pressing into the feet. Inhale and lift and hold, gazing straight up towards the ceiling.
So through our practice today, we're going to experience many, many, many back bends, a variety of back bends, because back bending postures stretch and release that psoas muscle. Good, very slowly releasing, allowing the hips to come all the way down. Good, and let's bring that right knee into the chest. Extend the left leg out, but let it hover over the mat. So hug that right knee into the chest. Pause right here, flexing the feet, just letting that left knee hover. Maybe even lifting the forehead towards the knee, holding here for a moment or two. And releasing the head down and bringing that left knee in, extending that right leg out, but just letting it hover above the mat. So energetically reaching through those heels as we hug that left knee in towards the chest. And then lifting the forehead to meet the knee, pausing and breathing. Good, and then bring both knees into the chest. And let's go ahead and lower those feet down. So heel toe your feet out wide, take your arms out to the side, and then just gently dropping the knees side to side like windshield wipers. Move with your breath a little bit here, little lower body rotation. Inhaling at center, exhaling to one side, inhaling at center, exhaling to the other side. Good, back to center, inhale, exhale left, inhale and exhale right. Very nice, and then come all the way back up to center. We're going to go ahead and cross our left ankle over our right thigh. And we're just going to pause here for a moment, extending our arms out to the side. I want you to bring your left foot now down towards the floor. So just rotate that left foot down towards the floor, and if you can, reach for that left ankle with your right hand. Notice that stretch along the left side of the body, and you can gaze to the right, or if it's okay for your head and neck, you could look to the left. So we're going to stay here for a little bit, just opening up, stretching that side body, breathing. Stay very focused on the breath, each inhalation, each exhalation. Trying to smooth out the rough edges of your breath. Good. Can we stay for one more breath here? And then when you're ready, slowly come back up. Lift that right foot off, reach behind that right thigh, draw that right thigh towards the body, and lower the head back onto the mat. Take a moment maybe to make a few circles with that right ankle, or pointing and flexing. Very nice. And then slowly lower that right foot down. And bring that left foot back onto the mat, and we'll change sides. So crossing right ankle over left thigh, and then just roll until your right foot comes down to the ground, and then reach with your left hand for that right ankle. And then maybe extend your right hand out, and you can look over at your right fingertips, or if it feels better, you can look to the left. Maybe you can even close your eyes here, because that might feel really good. Good, so just again, taking your time here, breathing, stretching out that hip, low back. Enjoying each breath as it enters and exits your body. Very nice. All right, slowly bring that to center. And lift that left foot off, reach behind the left thigh, hug it towards the body as you roll back down, and maybe rotate that ankle or point and flex that foot, because that would feel really good. Think about bringing mobility into your joints this morning, waking everything up. Awesome. All right, and let's lower that foot down. I'm going gonna lift up just so that I can get rid of my little blanket, move it out of my way. I'm gonna hug my knees into my chest, rock side to side. So psoas muscle likes rocking. Psoas muscle likes dancing, moving, shaking. Awesome. So hold right here, tuck your chin, a little rock and roll up. Hover the toes. Let's do that again. Tuck the chin, roll back down. And roll up and hover the toes. One last time. Tuck the chin, roll down and up and hover and hold. Think about opening up in your boat pose now. Tucking that tummy in, extending those legs if that's all right, reaching out, or perhaps today finding your way into your temple mudra, breathing and balancing here in your boat pose. Very nice. Lower those feet. Give yourself a little hug, rounding out that, tucking that chin. Awesome. Now we're going to go ahead and sweep our legs to the back of our mat and come into our first child's pose of the morning. So big toes together, knees wide, hips back and hands forward, taking our time here. Just to, again, think about letting go in that low back, opening up and stretching the inner thighs, the hips, stretching the ankles, the shins, stretching the side bodies. And if it's okay to let your forehead come down towards the mat, then maybe you stretch your shoulders and open up that chest a little bit. Good, we're gonna stay just for a couple of breaths, bringing our focus, our awareness, our attention to our breathing, knowing that it's the breath that guides us through our practice. So be attentive and aware of your breath this morning. Use the breath to relax the body, calm and center the mind, calm and center the spirit. And as we breathe in our child's pose, think about fluffing your sheets as you make your bed. So inhale, lifting those sheets up high, exhale, releasing them back down. Good, let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. Maybe just one more time because that would feel really good. Inhale and exhale and let it all go. Very nice, and then come up into a tabletop position, little cat and cow, just to wake that spine up a little bit more. So lift the hips, drop the belly, lift the gaze, inhale, tuck the tailbone around the back, tuck the chin, and exhale. Move connected to your breath this morning. One breath, one movement. Good. Really ease out all of the tension along the spine. Drawing that breath deeply into the body. Good, one more time. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. Back to that neutral spine position and take your hands just a little bit forward on your mat. And as we come forward, we're going to come into our modified plank. We're going to tuck our elbows in tight. We're going to let our heart come through our arms, and we're going to lower all the way down onto our mat. Good, and from here, we're going to come right back into our child's pose. So I want you to think about tucking the chin and rounding out like you do when you move through cat pose. Good. So inhale, coming forward, modified plank. Exhale, lowering down. Nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, tuck the chin, round out that upper back, all the way back to your child's pose. And again, inhaling, coming forward. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling again, and on the exhale, tuck the chin, round out that upper back, all the way back to your child's pose, and one last time. Inhaling, coming forward, exhaling, lowering down, tucking the chin. On that next exhale, rolling all the way back into your child's pose. Beautiful job. Good, now inhale, come all the way forward, tuck those elbows, exhale, lower all the way down with control. We're going to take the arms out to the sides, nice and wide like wings, and tent the fingers on the floor. So come into that first really, really gentle or small back bend, lifting the forehead, lifting the chest. So every time we come into our back bend, we're stretching that psoas muscle. So we'll start nice and slow, nice and simple, just a little bit of a back bend. Pressing into the feet,
engaging the muscles of the legs. So just look a little bit forward. So try not to overextend or over open the throat. Just pause right here. Feel the muscles on the back of the body engaged and working. Feel the muscles on the front of the body stretching and opening. All right, from here, bring the heels of your hands right by your lower ribs. Point the elbows back. Draw the heels of the hands back so that the heart comes forward. Hold right here, little cobra pose. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. Good, one more breath. And on that next exhale, all the way back to your child's pose. And stretch that out nice and long. Reach forward, hips back, hands forward. Good, look at your hands. Inhale, coming forward, tucking the elbows, exhale, lower all the way down. And then let's come into Sphinx Pose. So forearms on the mat, elbows right under the shoulders, fingers spread out nice and wide. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. And then think about drawing the elbows towards the hips. Not really moving the elbows, but in the spirit of letting the heart come through the arms. Increasing that back bend just a little bit. Getting into a nice position. And again, pressing into your feet. So press equally into the big toe side and the pinky toe side. Soften the glutes, but use the muscles of the legs to encourage that back bend. Good. Breathe. Sphinx pose. Inhaling and exhaling. So not only are back bends beautiful postures for stretching our psoas, back bends are also energizing postures. So they're great postures for our morning practice. On the exhale, release. Bring the heels of the hands by your ribs. Inhale again. Exhale all the way back to that child's pose. And again, big stretch here. Beautiful job. Let's lift up, coming up to more or less tabletop position, but the hands are a little bit forward of the shoulders. We're going to go ahead and curl the toes. We're going to lift the knees. We're going to take our hips up and back for that first downward facing dog. Spend a little bit of time here. Get to know this pose. Really think about stretching the whole back side of the body as you strengthen the front side of your body. Lift and lower the heels. Shift the hips side to side. Note what feels good in your own body this morning. And while we're here, awesome opportunity for a little letting go breath. Letting go breath releases tension from the jaw. Your jaw and your psoas muscle are very connected because they're both impacted by stress and anxiety. So a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, open the mouth and let it all go on a big sigh. Let all your cares, concerns, worries, anxieties go on that out breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Gently move your head side to side. Beautiful. All right, bend your knees a little bit, and you're going to step your right foot forward about 6 or 8 inches, and then you're going to begin to straighten your left leg. So think about shifting your hips back. So you're releasing that, actively releasing the psoas muscle on one side. Just stay here for a moment or two, like you're taking a step forward, but changed your mind partway there. Awesome. All right, step that right foot back, pedal out the heels, see how things are doing with your wrists. You know, keep your core engaged, and you can lift your hands a little bit, shake things out, and then reground. Find your way back into that downward facing dog. Bend your knees, step your left foot forward, maybe 6 or 8 inches, and then straighten that right leg without locking the knees. So think about engaging those quadricep muscles, getting a beautiful stretch in your calf, your hamstring. And we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Awesome. And then from here, you're going to continue to walk to the top of your mat. First forward fold of the morning. Softening those knees, bringing the belly to rest on the thighs, letting that head hang down. And as you come into this forward fold, think about the whole body spilling forward. Like your body's like a waterfall.
Water is so soothing and calming. So imagine the stress and the tension and the worry and the concern just rolling off the backside of your body like water. Gently turn that head side to side. Keep everything relaxed and loose. With the belly resting on the thighs, you can lengthen those legs a little bit if that feels all right. And then together we're going to bring our hands to our shins and inhale, flat back. So chin tucking to the chest, lengthening through the crown of the head, back through the tailbone. And on the exhale, softening and folding, forward fold. We're going to go ahead and bend those knees, and we're going to inhale, rise up. And when we come to the top, take time again for a little bit of a back bend. So reach up and then reach back. Good, all the way back up to center. Hands to your heart center, hands by your sides, mountain pose. So let's flow through a couple of sun salutations to get the body warmed. Then we're going to get into a little bit more psoas release. So starting at the top of your mat, find your nice, strong, tall mountain. Feeling very secure, feeling rooted into the mat right where you are. And then from that firm foundation, think about rooting down to rise up. So lengthen up through the crown of your head. Lift your shoulders up. Release those shoulder blades down the back. And while you're here, connect with your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. One more time. Nice deep breath. Inhaling and exhaling. And then together, sun salutations. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, widen the arms, soften the knees, forward fold. Hands on the shins, inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees. Stepping right foot back, low lunge, left foot to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, come forward in your plank. It can be full plank, it can be modified. Forward and down. And then maybe cobra, maybe upward facing dog if that feels all right. We're going to curl our toes and lift our hips. Take them all the way back, downward facing dog. Now walking or stepping to the top of your mat, forward fold, release down. Hands on the shins, nice flat back. And exhale, fold. Bend your knees and inhale, rise up. Little back bend at the top. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, rise up. Take the arms out wide, soften the knees, forward fold and exhale. Hands on the shins, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, left foot back. Right foot downward facing dog. On that next inhale, come forward in your plank. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale to your up pose, cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Again, we're going to walk or step to the top of that mat for forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, fold. Bend your knees and inhale, rise up. Little back bend again at the top, and exhale, hands to your heart center. Good, inhale, up. Exhale, hands behind your back for a chest expansion. Again, opening up the front side of the body, strengthening the back side of the body. If it's all right, bend your knees, bring your belly onto your thighs, lift your hips and drop your head, bent knee forward fold, straightening the legs if that's okay, or keeping the knees a little bit bent. Rest the belly on the thighs to protect the low back. Take the hands away from the low back, again, if that feels all right. And breathe. Good, everything relaxed and loose in the neck. No tension, no stress, no forcing. Just releasing. Let's bring our hands behind our thighs, down towards our heels. Hug ourselves a little bit deeper into that forward fold, as long as we can breathe. Bring your hands onto your shins again, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Now stepping back with your right foot, coming into your low lunge. From that low lunge, bringing that back knee down. So we're going to begin a series of hip flexor stretches. So let's start with that right leg back. And inhale up, taking the arms all the way up. And then take your arms out wide and let the thumbs move back and the heart come forward. And pause here and breathe. Good, let the hips sink. Let the front side of the body open. Find your breath. So the gaze can be forward or you can be looking up. Good, turn the palms forward. Sweep the arms forward and up. Inhale, exhale, and sink. Awesome. Let's take those arms out into cactus arms. Again, we're going to stay here as we open up through the chest, drawing those shoulder blades together on the back side of the body. Good. And then slowly bring your hands down. We're going to shift back just to change things up and get a little bit of a hamstring and calf stretch. So drawing that left hip back, keeping a little softness in that knee as we hinge forward, tuck that chin. Beautiful. We're not going to stay here very long because we're going to come forward and back into that hip flexor stretch. So again, we're going to sweep those arms up, inhale, and we're going to take them out wide and thumbs back. Open the chest. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Time, patience, gravity. And take those hands forward. Inhale up, exhale, cactus arms to open. Beautiful. Inhale up and exhale back. And let's release that a little bit. Back into that hip or back into that hamstring stretch, releasing the body down if that feels okay. Staying up a little bit higher if that's what you need. Good, take another deep breath. And one more time, we're going to come all the way forward. This time we're going to bring that left forearm onto the thigh, sweeping that right arm up. We're going to flex at the wrist, reaching up through the heel of the hand, releasing that myofascial chain along the right side of the body. So the right heel of the hand lifts up, and that right hip sinks down. Now point the fingers and hinge over to the side, opening up through those ribs. Beautiful job. And on that exhale, bring both hands down. We're going to go ahead and curl the toe, lift the knee, step back into your downward facing dog. Maybe give everything a little bit of a shake here. Shifting side to side. Awesome. All right, bend those knees a little bit, step that right foot forward, and straighten that left leg. And just hang out here for a couple of breaths. Pressing forward, leaning back, breathing deep. Good. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Look forward at your hands, and we're going to bring that left foot forward. So if it doesn't come all the way, step it, grab it behind the calf, and help it up in between your hands. And we've arrived back at the front of our mat in a low lunge. Now slowly bringing the hands up onto the thigh, stacking your shoulders on top of your hips. You're going to sweep your arms all the way up and temple mudra with the hands. So interlacing the fingers, reaching those index fingers up. Inhale, we're going to rise up, and exhale, we're going to bend that back knee and sink down. So we're still on that right side, working with that right hip flexor, right psoas. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, sinking down. Awesome. One more time. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, sinking down. Hold, hold, hold. Beautiful job. Slowly lower your hands to your heart. Hands frame that forward foot. Straighten that front leg. Version of our pyramid pose. Good. Bend that front knee. Walk your fingers to the long side of your mat. So you're in a standing straddle. Come into half lift first to lengthen the spine. Keep that chin tucked. Lengthen the neck. Lengthen the spine. that tummy. Good. And then bend your knees just a little bit. Heel toe your feet in a tiny bit. Bring one hand and the other onto your thigh. Tuck your chin slowly round up. All the way up to standing. We're going to turn our toes out. Whoops, maybe. We're going to turn our toes out to the sides. We're going to take a nice big breath up. And as we exhale, hands behind the back, and we're going to press the air out. Taoist breathing. So we're going to inhale up. We're going to exhale, press out. Powerful and strong. Inhale up and exhale. Last time, inhale up and exhale. Good, hold. So flex at the wrists, pressing out, squeezing those shoulder blades together, sinking down. Good, find your breath. And then slowly rise up and bring your hands to your heart, hands to your hips. Turn your toes forward. Think about tucking your tummy, hinging at your hips, folding all the way down into your standing straddle. Beautiful. From here, half lift, nice flat back. We're going to soften those knees, heel toe in a tiny bit again. Walk your fingers now around your back foot. So your right foot now is facing the back of your mat. You're in a low lunge on that with that left foot back. We're going to bring that knee down, same sequence, now on the other side of our body. So we're going to spend a little bit of time here, tiring out, stretching, releasing the psoas on the left side. So from here, inhaling up and exhale, sweeping those arms out wide, thumbs moving back, heart is open, gaze is forward, or the head and neck is releasing back. Good, breathe, breathe, breathe. Awesome job. Now take those hands forward. Inhale up, exhale, cactus arms again, letting gravity work here, sinking. Beautiful. Inhale up, frame the foot and shift back. Ease everything up. That hamstring and calf stretch, folding into it if that feels okay. Awesome. Come back onto the sole of that foot, and let's do that again. Inhale, and exhale, sweeping back and open. Open yourself up. Let go of that stress, anxiety, cares, worries, concerns. Let it all go. Simply breathe. Good. Again, taking your arms forward. Inhale, exhale, cactus arms. Nice little chest opener here. Where's your breath? Inhale and exhale. Let's release that. Ooh, back into that hamstring stretch. Soften and fold. Keep that knee a little bit soft. Don't lock out the joints. And then slowly come back onto the sole of that foot. This time bringing that right forearm to rest. Sweeping that left arm up. Flexing at that left wrist, reaching up through the heel of that hand, sinking that left hip down. Good, just allowing gravity to do the work here. Staying conscious of those core muscles being engaged. Focused on our breathing. Beautiful, point the fingers, hinge and open that side body. Slowly bringing the hands down. From here, curling the toe, lifting the knee, stepping back into your downward facing dog. Shifting it side to side, wiggling everything out. Seeing how that feels. Awesome, then bend the knees and step that left foot forward and straighten that right leg. And again, just kind of hang out here for a few breaths. Maybe returning to that letting go breath, that deep inhale and opening the mouth, sighing it all out, relaxing the jaw. That idea of letting go of care, concern, worry, stress, anxiety, anything you don't in this moment. step that left foot back. We're going to bring that right foot forward, helping it, if we need to, all the way up in between our hands. And setting up for our high lunge now. So stacking, bringing the hands slowly up onto the thighs, stacking shoulders on top of hips, and then inhaling up and temple mudra, interlacing the fingers, extending those index fingers, relaxing those shoulders. So we inhale, rise up, and we exhale, bend that back knee and sink down. Good, we inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend that back knee and sink down. Beautiful job. One last time, inhale, rise up, and exhale, sink and hold. Awesome. And then slowly bringing the hands to frame that front foot, straightening that front foot, version of pyramid pose here. Stretch everything out. And then go ahead and bend that knee. Walk your fingers again to the long side of your mat, standing straddle. Coming into your half lift, lengthening the spine. Good. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold all the way up. Walk your hands in between your feet. Lift your hips up a little bit. Let the head come down towards the floor, weighted by gravity. And then again, consider letting all of everything spill off the back side of your body. Simply let it go. Good. Once again, bring your wrists underneath your shoulders, nice flat back. Heel toe your feet in, soften the knees. Walk the fingers around that forward foot. Back into your downward facing dog from here. We're actually going to flow through a couple more heat series before, or a couple more sun salutations as we come back down onto our mat, just to bring heat back into our body. So look at your hands and inhale forward in your plank, full plank or modified. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale for your up pose, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Walking or stepping to the top of your mat, forward fold, releasing down. Hands on the shins, inhaling. Exhaling again, forward fold. Bending those knees, inhale, rising up. Little back bend at the top. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Beautiful. Let's do that 2 more times from the top. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Right foot steps back. Left foot downward facing dog. As we inhale, coming forward in plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for our up pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Walking or stepping to the top of that mat. Forward fold. Half lift, flat back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to our heart. Last one, inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot steps back. Right foot downward facing dog. Inhaling again, forward in plank. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhale, lift to your up pose. This time we're just going to come to child's pose. So lower the knees all the way back to that child's pose. Letting the belly rest on your thighs perhaps. Maybe this time bringing your hands to wrap around your heels as you soften and relax the shoulders. Let the forehead rest. Just take a moment. A couple of nice deep breaths here. Very slowly pressing yourself up just to a kneeling position. We're going to take our hands over to one side, drop down onto our hip, and sweep our legs forward. Wonderful. A little bit of seated work here. Stretch out those hamstrings as well before we come back down onto our mat. So let's begin with our right leg out long. Bring that left foot across. Sitting up tall, softening and relaxing the shoulders, lengthening the spine. Gonna wrap that right arm around the thigh, left hand behind the back. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, turn. So as we arrive here this morning in this twist, noticing that simply changing our gaze changes our perspective. It is what we look at, what we focus on, that creates the story in our mind. So simply taking a little bit of time to shift that focus, change our view, can change our story. Good. Sit up nice and tall with an inhale, and on an exhale, come forward. Now we're going to go ahead and come into our shoelace pose. So knees stacking on top of each other, that right leg is still out long. We're going to lengthen the spine, and then we're going to hinge forward at the hips, bringing the heart towards that foot. Maybe you can reach for the sole of your foot. Maybe your hands are just out by your sides. Keep your chin soften towards your chest and your neck nice and long. And then again, allowing gravity to do some work here. Breathing, watching each inhalation and each exhalation. Refreshing your body, restoring your mind. Slowly come all the way up. You're going to take that right foot now and track that right heel towards the left sit bone as we come into our cow face legs. So if this is really uncomfortable for you, you can continue to keep that right leg long. If you're okay here, we're actually going to take our right hand off to the side, reach the left arm up, and hinge over to the side in those cow face legs. So a little non-traditional movement here, reaching up, keeping both sit bones firmly planted. Good. Inhale up, exhale left hand down. Inhale right arm up, hinging to the side, looking up if that feels okay. Notice where you're feeling tension or tightness. I still have a little bit of tightness in the low back, right side. Awesome. Inhale up and exhale down. Now take those arms out wide. You're going to cross your left arm on the bottom, right arm on the top. Give yourself a little hug. And if it's all right, open up into your eagle arms now. So a few more breaths here. Stretching out the top or upper back now. Soften the shoulders, lift the elbows, soften, steady the gaze. Beautiful. Release that. Take the hands behind the back. Little chest expansion just as a counter pose to those eagle arms. Good. Release. Give everything a little bit of a shake. Hands come behind your back, shift back, unwind your legs, coming into cobbler's pose for a moment or two. Soles of the feet together, hips walking in towards the heels, elbows at those inner thighs. Nice, beautiful stretch here. Inhaling, exhaling. Awesome. Slowly release. Now extend that left leg out, bring that right foot across. Sit up nice and tall, wrap the left arm around, right hand behind the back, lengthen, and shift that gaze. Gaze is always the last thing to move. Feel as if your body is being wrung out, squeezing out all the things we don't need this morning. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, center. All right, coming into our little shoelace pose, stacking those knees on top of each other, relaxing those shoulders, inhaling, exhaling, hinging at the hips, chin soft towards the chest, and just bringing that body forward. So experience the movement forward as we stretch the calf and the hamstring and release the low back.
tucking that right heel towards that, or that left heel towards the right sit bone. I cross things up and I get confused. Left hand off to the side, right arm reaches, we hinge to the side. Ooh, soften and relax the shoulders, look up past the inside of that bicep. Good, inhale up, exhale, right hand down, reach that left arm up now, hinge over to the side. Notice how that feels along the side body, creating space, stretching through those intercostal muscles. Good, inhale and exhale. Now, reach the arms out, right arm on the bottom, left arm on the top this time. Again, equal arms if that's available to you. Relaxing the shoulders, lifting the elbows, and then steadying and softening that gaze. Unwinding, hands behind the back. Again, that little bit of a chest expansion. And release that. Give those shoulders a nice big roll. Lift up, back, and down. Hands come behind. Shift back. Unwind the legs. One more time to your cobbler's pose before we land on our backs. And one more nice inner thigh stretch. Open everything back up again. Bend those knees. We're going to slowly transition to our backs. Slowly down onto our mat. Once again, hugging those knees back into the chest, gently rocking side to side. My hope for you is that you feel a little bit more balanced in your body, side to side, top to bottom, front to back. My hope is that we gave our psoas muscle a little bit of a break today. It works hard, and it's going to continue to work hard as we move through our day, as we're seated in our chair or walking or standing. Think about being kind to that muscle today. Let's go ahead and come into happy baby. Bring our hands behind our knees, drawing those knees out to the sides of the ribs, lifting the soles of the feet up. See if you can get the whole length of your spine down onto your mat, so even the tailbone. Tucking the shoulder blades under the back. Beautiful. Good, let's straighten those legs, rest the hands on the inside of the inner thighs. Flex the feet. Feel that beautiful stretch. And then slowly guide the feet together. Pause here. This posture is literally our legs up the wall without the wall for support. And then from here, bend those knees. Slowly bring those feet down onto the mat. Take your feet wide to the edges. Reach the arms out to the side. Drop the knees to the right for one last gentle spinal twist. Shift your gaze to the left. Slowly bring those knees back up to center. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, knees over to the left. And this time just allowing the gaze to shift to the right or soften. Close your eyes. Soften that gaze. And slowly come back to center. So as an option for your last posture today, you can always choose your reclined bound angle. You can always choose corpse pose. If you want still a little bit more for your psoas, take your blanket, roll it up,
Rest it under your hips and extend your legs out long. And you'll elevate your hips ever so slightly, and you'll continue to stretch that psoas muscle. Hands can be out by the sides. Hands can rest on the belly. Wherever seems the most appropriate for you. And then once again, close your eyes. Keep focus, your attention, your awareness inward. And allowing your awareness to travel through your body on a journey of sensation. Simply feeling each part of your body, noticing if there's tension in any spot. And where does the tension live in your body? Are you noticing tension in your neck or your shoulders? Is there tension in your hips or your knees? Maybe through the work of the practice and the breathing and the moving, some of that tension has disappeared. That would be my hope. But maybe there's still some tension that lives in the spaces around your heart. Try just to notice that experience, that sensation. If you can, release the urge to hold on to that pain or tension. Let's think about releasing our body a little bit more onto our mats. Bringing our awareness to our toes. Let the toes relax. From the ankles. Let the calves and the knees relax. Release any tension from your thighs, your hips, your belly. Let go of any tension around the front side of your heart. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale. Open your mouth. Exhale and let it all go. Continue on that journey. Noticing your shoulders, relaxing the shoulders. Letting your awareness and your thoughts move down to your biceps and your elbows, your wrists, right to your fingertips. Let everything relax, soften. Feel as if your body is getting heavy. Imagine for a moment that you're resting on a beach, a beautiful beach where the sand is warm and you're relaxed. And you're enjoying the sensation of the heat and the support of the sand beneath you. And with each breath, you allow yourself to relax and let go a little bit more. Now bring your awareness back up the arms. Become aware of your face. Release any tension there around your jaw. Soften the creases from your forehead. Relax the bridge of your nose. Soften your eyes. Soften and release right up to the very crown of your head. And then simply breathe in this space. Letting each breath carry you a little bit deeper into a space of relaxation. With each inhalation, think about bringing more peace into your body, more self-compassion. With each exhalation, letting go of any stress, letting go of any worry, letting go of anything that you can't control in this moment.
Yeah, I would like to be involved in that decision for sure, considering that I'm going to have to work with it when I finally get over there. So, yeah, no, I will absolutely weigh in. If you send me all that information,
slowly begin to bring our awareness back to this space. Bring your awareness back to the sensation of your body resting on your mat. Start to bring movement now by wiggling your fingers or wiggling your toes, or maybe just deepening that breath a little bit. Gently reawakening your body and your mind. When you feel ready, take a moment to roll over to your right side in your sleep pose. Feel safe and protected. And then, when you're ready, join me today in a simple cross-legged pose on your mat. Take a moment again to close your eyes, to allow your heart to be over your hips, your head to be over your heart. Lift those shoulders all the way up to your ears. Relax those shoulders down your back. We are all tired. Life is a hard road, but it's a beautiful one. Perhaps we expect too much from ourselves. Perhaps we expect too much from each other. Perhaps we need to celebrate how far we have come. Maybe we need to rest a little bit more. Maybe we need to relish in the simple pleasures. Perhaps we just need to look for love everywhere. As we move into this last part of our practice today with our eyes softly closed, take a moment to consider the surface of a lake. When the surface of the lake is still, we can see clearly to the bottom of the lake. But when the surface of the lake is agitated by waves, the bottom ceases to be visible. It is the same of our mind. When our mind is still, we can see clearly. And that's when we experience that inner calm. So I hope your practice today led you to that space where your mind is calm and quiet. And once again, you can see clearly. Let's slowly open our eyes. If they're closed, we'll take a big breath together. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to our heart center. And I thank you for joining me this morning. Namaste.